Welcome to the channel. Stay for this one if you want to learn how to build a long CCU chain, how to get some of those fancy ships for maybe 25% of the price you see listed. Not a scam, not a trick. As you see here, I'm not exactly holding my tongue with anyone in terms of what I think about CIG and Star Citizen. Yeah, that is 2033 that you see there. Believe it or not, I still feel quite warmly about what the game could be eventually if they get their shit together. And I know that most people watching my channel think, oh, he's just a hater. Again, no, I'm not. Would love to see things go a lot better. But this is going to be specifically a video about building a long CCU chain for some of those bigger ships. Again, extremely careful what you're getting into. This is an alpha. This is a super early alpha. This is in many ways extremely buggy, and the business model revolves around doing just this. Revolves around convincing you that you need to buy a big ship to have fun, which is not real. It is actually the opposite. You will never fly, though I don't want to use the word never, you will almost never fly those big ships unless you have a bunch of friends and orgs and whatnot. The big ship stays behind, you fly around in the more convenient one. Having said all of that, I have seen these things, I've done these things, I know exactly what I'm going to tell you, and this is how it works. This is how you save a ton on some of these larger ships. Again, final warning, this is extremely predatory marketing, convincing you of things that make no sense. You will not have more fun because you have a bigger ship. Now, I will also say, if you've been in the project or business of playing Star Citizen for a long time, and there is something you really want and it's been there, the ship you're thinking of has been there for a long time, which is usually the best thing, because then you know after a few years that it's at least less likely that it will be nerfed to hell. Then okay, give this a shot. So building a CCU chain and getting the whatever ship you want for 25% of the listed price goes about the following way. My advice would be start with an LTI token. An LTI token is a lifetime insurance token, which is not a thing yet. It is not a thing. You don't need any insurance of any kind. This will only come into play when the game is actually fully released, which according to CIG lawyers is already the case. According to CIG, no, it's an early alpha. In theory, and again, take that with a giant ass grain of salt, in theory, when the game comes out, if you have lifetime insurance, you don't have to worry about insurance. If not, as you probably see in the other ships, you have 6 months insurance, 12 months, whatever amount of months. People in general, if you're going to build a long line, you want to go with lifetime insurance. And for that, you go here and you look for the cheapest LTI token you can find. What's an LTI token, you ask? I'm glad you asked that question. An LTI token is a ship that is very affordable and has lifetime insurance. Even if it's not a ship, even if it's a motorcycle, still has lifetime insurance. It's considered a ship by the game. So if you go here to ships and you find, let's say, all right, whatever is being sold right now and has lifetime insurance, I think the Fortune, that little thing they have now going out there. Oh, let's go for price lowest. Right, so let's say the PTV, the first time it came out, if it had lifetime insurance, that's a lifetime insurance token that you got yourself. Nothing like that. There's probably going to be a little Ursa vehicle coming out that's going to be on the 45, 50-ish range. So that could be a decent little lifetime insurance. I think the thing you have right now is the Fortune. Looking it up here, links, the Salvation, there you go. So you go and you get yourself the Salvation, all right? This is coming out now, paying warbond. Warbond is one of these terms used by CIG, which basically means you're paying new money. You're not melting, you're not getting your money back. It's not a refund from a ship. That's called melting. When you get a refund from the ship, okay, when you melt the ship, you don't get your money back. That's never going to happen. Forget about it. But when you get specifications, pretty sure it was floating around here. Anyway, melting means getting your money back in the game, not for real, and you get to use it for something else. Warbond means you're paying with fresh new money. You're putting new money into the game. I think it was over here. So let's go into the packs. I think it was game packs. No, this is something else. This is even more insane. Let's go back here to do they have insurance here in this thing? That all of the ships have some kind of insurance going on. It's usually 6 months. You know, whatever is you bought. It's weird. It's not being listed here right now. Usually you see it right away. So flight ready. All right. Here, SCU view offers. All right. There you go. So you see 6 months insurance, right? That's it. The standard. The standard is 6 months insurance. Let's go back to the. Yeah, let's go back to that little lowest, newest. Yeah, that's gonna be the best thing. So there you go. Flight ready, fantastic. $60. Okay, I get it's still cheaper than an actual, you know, some of the games coming out these days. View offers, and there you go. As I was saying, lifetime insurance. Oh, great, fantastic. Now, this would be your token. It's a $60 token, but I know that a lot of people for $55 they buy it as a token. They will buy it as a token and then build their CCU chain, their upgrade chain upon it. So the CCU chain, now getting exactly to that, would involve the following. You have your lifetime insurance token, whatever it is, could be 45, $50, you know, whatever it is you found, and then you start doing this thing of building a ship upgrade chain. As you probably know by now, whatever money you put in the game is gone forever. You're never going to see it again. Oh, no, but people sell it in the gray market. It's gone forever. You're never going to see it again. That's the healthiest way to look at it, because unless you're one of these guys working in the gray market, buying and you know, locking things and selling it, great. But you as a player, no, you're never going to see this thing again. So be extremely careful of what you do. You started with your, go into all the ships. You start with your salvation, right? Salvation is going to be $60. Which you say, okay, I already saved $5 because I saw that warbond. I was paying $55 for that thing. Okay, so that's already a little bit of cash going in there that you're not spending. So saving $5 already. So not the worst warbond, not the worst CCU. See, $60 worth of ship. All right. So what you're supposed to do, and this is what basically a CCU chain is you go and you find the next warbond offer, right? That would be this one, this Shiv, right? This Shiv, if you look at it, it has two options. It has warbond, there it says warbond is $75 or $90, okay? This would be if you are gonna buy it with in-game money from previous ships you bought that you decided to melt. But no, what you're interested now is in this price, right? In the warbond price. The warbond price means that you're saving a little bit of money. You're putting new money in the game, so CIG is kind enough to give you a little bit. Now, to be a proper chain, what you should do is not this, but look at whatever is closest to that price from the Shiv, that's the one that has the warbond discount, and buy that instead. Ooh, but this makes no sense. It does. It's just going to take a long-ass time. Chains usually go for years. There's people that have had a long CCU chain for 1, 2, even more years. And this is as unreliable as CIG is. This is one of the things they do respect. If you locked a CCU, if you locked an upgrade from one ship to the next, you can apply it. Even if it changes price, even if eventually that ship becomes more expensive, if it's a CCU, if it's an upgrade, a chassis upgrade, that's the term they use. If it's a chassis upgrade from that ship to the next, that is respected by CIG, okay? So I have the Shiv and I have the Cuddy. Here I'm saving, well, quite a bit because it's $25 and $40. This is the one you're gonna get 25 bucks instead of 40, but you can do probably even better. This is a ship that is going for a little bit more. Let's see if we get closer. Instead of 100, and let's go for 120, right? If you get just too close, they don't allow you to get the warbond. They don't allow you to get that discount. So, okay, we had the Cuddy before. I think the best you could do for this was like something like the Centurion. Ideally, the chain you have, if you have the option, let's say you have these two, instead of having this one, right? Instead of having something that's a bit more rare, go for something that's easier to find, okay? So, Buccaneer. Buccaneer is a good CCU chain because it is usually readily available in most of the expos. Those ships are constantly, let's say the Gladius is always there, I believe, or the Cuddy Black. So check whatever it is that you're, what's available, and go with something that is more likely to be there, and not something rare that is almost never in sale in the game. Usually it's going to be these events, the IAE, the one that they have in the beginning of May, I think. So there's three or four, the biggest one being the IAE one. That's when you usually complete your chains, okay? So let's say the Nova tank, 120 bucks. And remember, our target here is the Shiv. So for 15 bucks, right, you're saving 50% here, okay? In that little link of a chain. Nova, let's go for whatever is next, okay? Whatever is next. Nova. Then let's go the Raft. The Raft is usually around there. The Raft, 10 bucks, right? So you spend 10 bucks for something that in the long price range should be 20. So it's over, 50% that you're saving when you complete the chain. A complete chain would be a perfect union of one of these. There's ideally the lowest I know it's possible is 5 bucks, right? I've done 5 bucks. I've done a long ass chain of all 5 bucks, and that's how you get to the ideal saving of 25% of the price that I mentioned in the start of the video. That takes a while. That takes finding exactly what you need. And with some of these lower ships, the discount is not nearly as much as it is with some of these more expensive ships. On the other end of the spectrum, you have the Perseus right now, right? If you're gonna get the Persei, you see that here you're saving 100 bucks, right? 100 bucks being saved. But hey, what's the closest to that thing? 675, all right. So I want to go 675, 575. Do I have anything that is 575? And because I'm looking at all ships, not what's being offered right now, yes, there will be something closer-ish to 575. 575. I have the Arastra, exactly 575. So in this case, it was it was more than that. Okay, so 800 bucks. Yeah, no, not even close to that. So yeah, I was completely wrong. 700 bucks. Okay, yeah, my bad. 700 bucks. What is close to 700 bucks? Usually CIG tries to find something that is not perfectly convenient for you. 700. The Odyssey. Nope, doesn't let me. That's exactly 100 bucks being saved, so you would be getting it for 0. What is the next thing below 700 bucks? Let's go check that out. So if you had that, you're screwed. You cannot do the upgrade for a big discount. Just under 700 bucks. This is what they call the CCU game, which is basically you being an idiot spending money on this thing. All right, 700 bucks. That was that. So 650. There's no other ship that allows you to save more than that. So 650. So you see what I mean? They have a guy actually working the numbers saying, okay, how much money are these assholes saving? So for 50 bucks, you jump on the 150 range, all right? This is the best chain that you have. This is the best link that is available because I'm not looking at any ship I have. I'm looking at all of the ships in the game. If you're interested in buying something very expensive, this is probably a link you get, right? A link that saves you 100 bucks, okay? With 50 bucks, you save 100 bucks in this 150 buck link of the CCU that you're building. And this is how you do it. You build one on the other and you get as many of these little links as possible. I honestly suggest going for anything that's close to 5-10 bucks. This is a stretch. This is a stretch for a, expensive thing. There's a bunch of more options. But basically, this is how you go about it. You buy these things over the years, or it may be a couple years. But eventually, you get the per CAE for $250, which is super entirely possible if you're patient enough and you build this thing. Okay, guys, that's gonna be all for now. Something very important: don't use free ship. Don't use, let's say, the Hoover bike or the Dragonfly that you get. You cannot melt those things. It needs to be something you bought with fresh money, so as to be able to melt it if you decide to do that. So at the very least, buy something within game with that money. If you build your CCU chain with a free token that you got from, let's say, using the referral like my own, which, by the way, if you like the video and you want to use my referral, that is hugely appreciated. But don't do that with a token that you got for free. It needs to be one of these ships that you bought with fresh money, ideally the lifetime insurance token, because the insurance that the ship gets goes from the ship you started with and you bought from there. Whatever link you have that has better insurance, that's the one you have. It is going to be impossible for you to find lifetime insurance with a link, so that's why people start with a lifetime insurance token like the salvation ship that I just showed you. Okay, guys, that's going to be all for now. See you on our next video. Take care.